Once you're in Roblox Studio, you're going to click on Classic Baseplate. And at the top here, you're going to click on Plugins. If you don't already have the Load Character plugin, I'll have the link in the description box down below. You're going to click on it and type in your Roblox username. Make sure Spawn at Origin has an X through it and click on Spawner 6. If you click F on your keyboard, you'll go directly to your character, and you can just, if you want, you can make changes to your character right now. If you don't already know how to do that, I have a video on it and I'll have it in the iCard right now. If you don't want to make any changes to your character, you're going to right click on your character and click on Export Selection. You're going to save it to a location on your computer and you're going to name it something. Once that's done, you can just delete yourself, and over to the side you can see the toolbox here, and you're just going to type in room or whatever model you want to use in your GFX. I'm just going to choose a room model right now. I really like this one, and the credits to this room model will be in the description of this video. Once you're done picking a room model, you're just going to right click on the room model and click on Export Selection. Then you're just going to wait for that to export. Once that's done exporting, you can just close Roblox Studio. Once you're in Blender, you can just click out of the opening page, click A on your keyboard, then click X and click delete, so nothing will remain on your Blender workspace. You're going to go up to File and then Open, and you don't have to save it. And you're just going to open up your rig. And this is how it's going to be. You're going to use the Shift and the tilde button. And I'll put a picture of what the tilde button looks on the screen right now, because it's a pretty weird looking key. You're just going to move using WASD. Click B on your keyboard and you'll get this arrow thingy, and you're just going to select your head. And delete your head too. Next, we got to add the texture onto the body so the rig isn't purple. You're going to click on the body, go over to the side and change this little button to Shader Editor. And you can just zoom in. And you can use these little sliders to move it to a certain spot, which is this texture tab. Click on this little file folder and you're going to go to where you saved your character in from Roblox Studio. I have a certain folder I saved it to, and the file you're going to pick is your Roblox username plus a number. It's usually going to be 1, text.png, and you're just going to double click on that to open it up, and it's going to be in your rig. Next, we got to add the head on, so you're going to go to File, Import Wavefront.obj, and this is really important. Go over to the side, click on the Geometry tab and click Split by Group, and then go over and select your character that you saved. And then you're just going to move it over to the side, and you're going to select all the body parts except your head. So you're going to click on the arm and you're going to hold Shift and then click on all the other body parts. Then you'll have your head and maybe an accessory that you have, and you're just going to click on all your body parts from your head, and you're just going to right click and click Join, right click again, so Origin to Geometry. Then you can just move your head back onto your body, and you can see that it's on the wrong way around. So over here, you're going to go to the Transform tab, go over to Rotation Z, change it to 180, and it'll flip it directly 180 degrees around. Once that's done, I'm going to load in my room model that I saved from Roblox Studio. You're going to go to File, Import Wavefront, and click on room.obj. Once that's done loading in, you can just zoom out and see where the room model loaded in, and you're going to move it so that your character is inside of the room model. Once that's done, you can pose your character right now using all these little circles on your character's rig. This will allow you to pose your character a lot easier. So you're just going to go up to rotate, and you can use one of these lines to rotate your body part, just like this. And then I'm just going to move the elbow up and then move the arm up again. So now it looks like my character is waving. And I'm just going to set up my entire character. And this part does take a lot of practice to do, but once you actually learn how to pose it entirely, you will be a lot easier to do in the future. So I'm going to speed this part up and I'll come back once I'm done. I am done setting up my characters, so now we're gonna continue setting up the scene. Make sure you're in object mode and click on add, then camera. And then on the side you'll see this little camera icon, and so you can go into the camera view and you're gonna move it so that it's gonna be where you want your GFX to render. Mine is gonna be exactly like this. I also changed my camera resolution to be the YouTube thumbnail size, but you can also change this to be a square or a rectangle or whatever dimensions you want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some light into our GFX because we don't want it to be dark. Make sure you're still in object mode. Click on add light, and you have a lot of different options. My recommendation is to use sun though. You're gonna move it up and make sure this little light is this arrow line thing is pointed towards your character. And if you go down here to these little ball things, you're gonna click on the viewport shading, and this will give you a preview on how your GFX will look like. And I really like that, the shadows and everything, but you can continue setting up your light differently if you don't like how it turned out the first time. Also, if you want to give your light some depth, you can go over to this little light bulb icon, and you can also change the strength of the light to make it brighter, and you can also change the tint. If you've seen GFX before, a lot of GFX artists put the tint to be more rosy color, and I personally like to do it more yellow. So now what we're going to do is you're going to go to this little camera icon, go to denoising, and click render. This will make it so that your GFX isn't noisy. And also go to this output properties tab, scroll down, go to file format and change it to a PNG and make sure it's RGBA. So it's not a video that it's rendering, it's just one frame. And you are done with setting up your GFX. Once you're happy with how it looks like, you're going to go up to render and then image. And it'll start rendering, and you can just wait until it is finished. Once your GFX is done rendering, you're just going to go up to image, save as, and save your GFX to a place that you will know in the future.